Hi everyone, Peter here from Flow High Performance, and in this video we will cover why trainees should train the biceps directly to maximize biceps growth. First, let's explore what exactly we mean when referring to direct training for the biceps. Essentially, the biceps can be trained either directly or indirectly. Direct bicep training is when we train specifically to target the biceps. So this would include performing different bicep curl variations, such as dumbbell curls, preacher curls, or cable curls. Indirect training, on the other hand, refers to involvement of the biceps as an assistance exercise during other movements. For the biceps, indirect training primarily refers to back training during vertical pulls, like pull-ups and lat pull-downs, and horizontal rows, like barbell or cable rows. During back training, the biceps are certainly involved. Therefore, the biceps will grow to some extent through back training alone. However, the biceps probably won't maximally grow from back training alone. This is because they aren't maximally involved during back exercises. The primary reason for this is due to the biarticular muscle theory. This theory applies to all biarticular muscles, which are those which act on two joints rather than one. To understand this concept, let's take a look at the anatomy of the biceps. Essentially, the biceps has two origin sites, which is where the muscle originates, and one insertion point, which is the other end where it attaches. As we can see here, both heads of the biceps originate on the scapula, or in other words, the shoulder blade. The exact point where it attaches is not important. The important consideration is that it crosses over the shoulder joint. This means that it acts to move the shoulder joint, and any movement at the shoulder will influence the biceps. The insertion for the biceps is on the radius, which is one of the forearm bones. Therefore, the biceps also act on the elbow joint, as most of us are already aware. Because of the anatomical structure of the biceps, it acts on both the shoulder and elbow joints. At the shoulder joint, it acts to flex the shoulder, which is the action of moving the arm up in front of the body, and as most of us are already aware, the biceps also flexes the elbow joint, as we would see during a bicep curl. So we now understand that the biceps act on both the shoulder and elbow joints. So going back to the biarticular muscle theory, let's explain how this applies to the biceps during back movements. During back exercises, whether it is a horizontal or vertical pull, we have two simultaneous actions occurring. One of these is at the shoulder and one at the elbow. If we observe any of these back movements, we can see that we have shoulder extension and elbow flexion. So if we think about the biceps, let's observe what is happening during the movement. At the elbow joint, the biceps are shortening because they contribute to elbow flexion. However, at the shoulder joint, the biceps actually lengthen. This is because they produce shoulder flexion, not extension. So at one end they are shortening, and at the other end they are lengthening. As a result, the biceps aren't fully recruited during the movement because it involves two opposing joint actions. Let's now look at how the biceps are involved during direct bicep training. During bicep curl exercises, we only have one primary movement occurring, which is elbow flexion. However, there is no movement at the shoulder, which means the biceps don't change length at this joint. As a result, the biceps are able to maximally contribute to direct bicep exercises. This will likely result in superior muscle growth over time compared with indirect training alone. While we are on the topic, this also brings up a good point regarding lifting technique for bicep curls. It is important to ensure we don't limit biceps involvement by accidentally extending the shoulders. This means we want to avoid moving the upper arm backward during our bicep curls. Doing so will cause the biceps to lengthen at the shoulder joint and limit bicep activity during the lift. However, if the arms move forward slightly during the concentric phase, this won't have any negative effects and may even increase biceps activity. Therefore, trainees should ensure they use strict technique by avoiding backward shoulder movement during the lifting portion of the exercise, and also allowing for some slight shoulder flexion if it naturally occurs. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you got something out of this video. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already.